finally at framing stage. After ripping everything out, after getting bin after bin after bin after bin of garbage out of this house, we're at the framing stage. First up, we gotta fix all the joists. We gotta fix all the floor. I've got 2x12s on the main floor, I got 2x12s on the second floor, and I got 2x10s on the third floor. And every single one of them has to be repaired, replaced, fixed, glued. Got to peel every single one, and we have to throw in nails every 12 inches. We have to cut out all the old planks. It's all the T&G planks that was used for subfloors. And then I have to sister, which means we have to laminate a new one to the old one. From there, I've got to leave the stair openings, which basically means I have to put 2 new double LVLs. So you gotta ask yourself, how do you get an LVL that has to be 4 inches into the party wall and then 4 inches onto the exterior wall into the space that's gonna be 8 inches shorter than the length of the LVL? Simple. We gotta make a hole in the brick and we have to push the LVL through it, and then we have to push it back into the party wall and set it into place there, and then we have to grout it. And it's not gonna go anywhere for another 127 years. What I like about Ziggy is that he is a sarcastic motherfucker, but he's a really approachable, sarcastic motherfucker. But he also loves what he does, and he loves having fun doing it, and he enjoys problem solving, and I really appreciate that. And I know he's a busy boy, so I appreciate when he does show up on site. Hello? Hey, Barry.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to start from the top down? So, attic. What we're going to do is double LVL for the trimmer, for the header, and then we're using 11 7/8 LVLs for the second floor. Okay, that works. And then regarding the stair opening, now we're basically looking at, like, this was a lot more work than it would have been to do a brand new home. You have to rip out everything that's old, and then you have to tie into everything that's old. Then you have to fix what you discover, and then you have to make new work with the old. And that's always a thinking trade kind of game, man. You have to do it that way.
Very nice.
Past the joist, before we get into doing any walls, we got steel. We're talking about a 700+ pound I-beam. This is a lot easier said than done. You've got to get it from the street because the guys normally bring the steel and they just drop it on the curb, and then all of a sudden you have to carry it inside. Okay. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
You don't speak Polish here?
I don't speak dobrze, okay? We need a lot. Maybe take the railing off. Ready? Don't damage the door. We got to install this main beam for lateral support, which is over 700 pounds. Bring it down. Bring it down. Once again, we have the same problem. The I-beam is 8 inches longer than the opening that we have. So we have to literally break the brick, shoot the I-beam through that opening, put it back into the party wall. Coming down! Oh, come on! Come on! Come on! Huh? Ready what? Never fed a piece of steel like that before. And then level it out with metal shims, weld it, grout it, set it, and it's all good and done, and then re-brick everything on the outside. We have to carry a 28-foot long, 16-inch high, 4-ply LVL through the house. It wasn't easy, but it got done. And then we had to do that all over again on the attic floor because we had to support the weight of the new beam that was going up on the attic floor. Go around, I'll take the back end of this. There we go. Jeez. Woo. Hang on, ready? Ready to go? Oh, look at that, huh? Look at, oh my goodness, man.
Weight plus 1.5.
So the biggest challenge for us was the rooftop deck. We knew the rooftop deck was terrible. It was sagging, it was brutal, it was old 2x10s. They were sagging about 2-3 inches in the middle, and we had to rebuild this whole thing, and it made no sense to actually keep any of it. It made no sense to sister any of it. We had one engineer look at things, and then he was like suggesting steel, 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 steel. So I hired another engineer, and he came up with a completely alternative version, and I like it a lot. He gave me options. He said you could either go 2 LVLs, 9.5, or you can go triple 2x10s on 12-inch centers. For the cost difference, it made more sense to do the LVL. So basically, at the point that where we structurally were sound to hold the hot tub, I said, why don't we just do the rest of the flat roof? And we just did it all LVLs. And that was a fun day with Ziggy and the boys because they ripped out the whole old roof, took out the 5 layers that we had of crap there that the guys just kept on putting more and more layers on top. And all of a sudden, one by one, we started putting all the new LVLs after we put a new ledger board along double brick on both sides. And then we just sheathed everything and it was all ready for roofing again. So for the walls, we've got to do all 2x4 walls, and we're going to just pull it away from the brick wall, the double brick wall, and we're going to basically start building all of our walls and stop at each window and create just a frame around it. We don't have to do traditional framing. We don't have to do a header and jack and king and anything like that. We're just literally doing this so that we have a place to put all of our insulation. So once we build all the perimeter walls, then we can get to build the interior walls. We haven't finalized the floor layouts on the attic floor, and we haven't finalized the floor layout on the second floor. So basically we were building first, then drawing second. Normally you draw first and then build second. But we drew, wasn't working, then we built, then it worked, then we had to draw, and we had to submit, and that's why we have so many permits on the window right now. This was a challenge to run all the framing in this house. And most of the time when you do new construction, it's just like a machine. You just keep on going, build the walls and build the floors and build the roofs and build everything, get it. This is no, you've got to build, think, answer, figure out, build, think, answer, figure out. And that to me is more challenging. A lot of guys don't like it because they don't want to think that much, but I like that all the guys that I brought to the table were doing the exact same thing. They were trying to figure out the better way to build this to make it last that much longer.